Hey everyone, your friendly neighborhood Pants is back with another Summoners War video. Today we're up against GodSquad and PhongTrao. So let's get into it. For this first match, I brought Galleon, Triana, and Poseidon into a Nana Iris Savannah. Galleon, Triana, Poseidon is just an insane offense that you can bring into a wide variety of defenses. I really never used to use this offense, even though I knew about it. It was just like, I was so scared of Galleon not landing defense breaks and my Poseidon just not having enough damage. But ever since I re-runed my Poseidon to be max crit rate and almost max accuracy, I'm at 81%. I wish I could get to 85, but 81 is still really close, while still maintaining sufficient damage. This team has been really solid. I mean, in addition to Triana's buff, it just makes it so nice. But anyways, highly recommend it. If you're going to build a team, rune your Poseidon first, build the other two around Poseidon, because he's the most difficult of the three to rune. Alright, so for this next match, I went up against a Herteit, Vigor, and Triana, and I'm bringing Bulwark, Molong, and Wusa. I think Wusa, in this case, is much safer than Melia in the same slot. I don't think that this is the safest team in general into this defense. I think probably the safest is a Fat Lucian with sufficient damage with like a Mirene as the lead, but I've hit enough of these with my Mirene Lucian and lost to just not try it. I just don't think my Lucian is fat enough to make it happen. Now here I think I made a mistake. See, I was thinking with Wusa, if I use the skill 3, I'm not getting max stacks onto my Bulwark as quickly. So I decided to just use skill 1, and I figured that way I can use the skill 2 later on to heal up my Molong, because Molong's going to hurt himself. But Vigor Violent procs after healing into a heal block rather than using the skill 3 defense break, which actually was probably a good thing for me because my Molong was low enough health that could have got killed. So anyways, I think it would have been the smarter move to use that skill 3 to get the immunity and the shield, even though it didn't get my max stacks onto Bulwark sooner. Molong does die, but it's a Bulwark Wusa 2v1 against the Vigor, luckily, which I do win eventually, even without destroy runes. My Wusa just really smacks on the skill 2. You can see he's hitting for 11-12k. Alright, so next up we have a Nephtyhs, Kinki, and Laima, total free-to-play defense, and I'm bringing a Seara Lucian. Generally speaking, whenever you see Kinki, your first slot isn't Lucian, but here I was thinking if I outspeed, my Lucian can kill the other two and Seara can clean up. That's something I've learned from a friend in Apocalypse, is sometimes I use this Lucian team and I just automatically bring Mirene, but if I just change up my lead, Lucian can kill, 2 of them, and then the lead monster can clean up whatever it is. And sometimes I'm just like dumb brain and think, okay, Mirren is OP, let's just bring Mirren, and then I lose. So try out different leads with your Lucian. Alright, so this next defense is a Iunu, Orion, and Kinki, which I pondered on for much longer than I would have liked to. We kind of needed the base sooner than when I finally did decide to hit it. But I just don't know how to safely deal with it. Like, you can't really Lucian that well because Iunu comes to life and just immediately kills your Lucian. So you need like a really solid leader that could finish off both the Iunu and the Kinki without dying himself. In this case, my Jubel just gets killed immediately by the Kinki, essentially. Defense broken, heal blocked, and Iunu finishes him off pretty easily. So I get to a 2v3 where there's just no chance really, but I attempt at least. My Iunu was on a decent Violent Will build, so I thought, let's try it out. Orion is just so tricky because if you don't outspeed, you're bringing a Shield Will team or just an All Will team, because even Shield Will isn't as effective with Orion's buff. So it's like you're just kind of crossing your fingers and hoping turn 1 doesn't screw you that bad. And in this case, turn 1 did screw me kind of bad, so it was unfortunate. But I just try again with a different will team. It's really all you can do. Alright, so for this next one, I brought Kamoon, Lauren, and Elucia to that same defense. I figured if Orion doesn't screw me turn 1, my Elucia and Lauren will be able to control them well enough for Kamoon to kill Iunu, and then it's a 2v3, and then I can control the Orion or control the Kinki and then kill the Orion, and so on and so forth. That's basically how this team works. You control 2 of the units, kill the other one, control 1 of the units, kill the other one, and then kill the last one. Kind of like Galleon, Triana, Poseidon, this offense is very solid if you build it well. And it's not particularly easy to build well because you want max accuracy on both the Lauren and the Elucia, efficient stats overall. Not to mention with the speed lead on Kamoon, you should certainly aim for 286 speed on everyone. And on top of that, you need to be speed tuned so that Lauren is moving first. The main thing is that Lauren moves before Kamoon because she wants to set up the defense break for Kamoon's damage. At any rate, Orion, despite taking 2 turns at the start, he didn't completely screw me. His skill 3 only targeted 1 person, which is rare, and it's even more rare that it doesn't land the strip or anything else. So I lucked out in that regard. I want to find like some kind of cleave team for this. I was thinking maybe like a bomber team like Cyan and Skogel, but I feel like it's too slow, and Orion has higher potential to just screw you. Not to mention if he like strips Skogel and Kinki's on Despair and stuns the Skogel, and it's just, I don't know. It's a very tough defense, but we got the win this time. Alright, so this next one is a Molong, Molly, and Savannah, which is a relatively old meta, but it still works pretty well. I'm bringing Tessarion Leo and Riley, excuse me. Leo counters Savannah skill 3 really well. Tessarion can kill the Savannah, can Oblivion the Molly to prevent the healing. Not to mention he can tank damage from Molong relatively well, and then Riley just keeps everyone healed. I usually bring Odin, Dagora, and Riley into this because I think it's really solid. Like Dagora never dies, or I mean he dies but he comes back and he heals and he's insanely tanky and it just works insanely well. So I'm not sure why I jumped on this particular offense rather than the Odin offense, but I think maybe it was just because I was excited to use Tessarion. I just got a nice upgrade to Tessarion on his slot 2 with a really efficient destroy rune that I've been holding on to for like 5 or 6 months, just farming Lumel for grinds, and finally got it. But yeah, the Savannah goes down pretty easily, and then it's just a matter of taking down these other 2, which can always take a while because the Molly, it's usually high resistance, usually on Nemesis, and just doesn't want to die, and she'll always like violent proc into shield whenever the defense break is up, that kind of thing, which is just like a miracle. I don't understand how it happens so frequently. I shouldn't say always, that's, that isn't true, but it feels like that. She just used the shield, and then you land the defense break finally with the 100 resistance, and then she violently procs twice into shield again, makes it go away. It's like, you bastard, just let me win. We get the win pretty comfortably here. It didn't take too long, only about 2-3 minutes, which is much better than how the Siege meta has been in the past lately, with Tractor Windy Lulu being like the typical offense, sometimes matches taking like 20-30 minutes. This is certainly something I can handle. This next one is a Seara Martina Shaina, which is another kind of classic defense that'll probably never go away just because Martina Shaina is so OP. You can try like a Suicide Squad type of team into this, but Cyan, for example, he comes back with immunity and invincibility, and so if he dies turn 1, comes back with that, you're just handing them all immunity and invincibility, which doesn't help them at all for bombs. So you could try like a Nana, Perna, Iunu, potentially, something along those lines. Or you can just try outspeeding and cleaving it, which is exactly what I do here. I put on my fastest set for Draco, which is plus 219. I got my Garo on a pretty mediocre, to be honest, Vampire Nemesis set. And then my Kali is on a okay Rage Blade set. In general, Seara Martina Shaina teams are fast, hard-hitting, and squishy. So I just kill the Martina turn 1. They have no way of stripping away the immunity. I make sure to use Draco's skill 2 there because I don't want him violent proccing out of the immunity. And then I kill the Shaina, kill the Seara, and get the win. That's pretty easy. So this next one is a Molong, Molly, and Coco, which I found kind of interesting seeing Coco on defense. I haven't seen very many, or any, I think. I don't know. I think she works better as an offense unit because you can take advantage of the fact that her little balls or whatever get thrown at you if you hit her. Her main appeal in my eyes is that she can one-shot damn near anything. So to prevent getting one-shot, you just share the love with those 5 little spike things. So Nana takes a spike, and then Tessarion takes a spike, and then Riley takes only 3 of them instead of all of them. So that's kind of my thought with this. And I brought Nana just as like a safeguard, in case someone dies, at least I get him back. I figure Coco is certainly going to be challenging to rune on a defense because you want lots of attack on her. So it's nice that they have her paired with an HP lead and a good support like Molly. but I figure my Tessarion should still be able to kill her relatively quickly and easily, so that's what I did. And you know, as soon as I kill her, I get another Nana stack, and it becomes just significantly safer, because now I have like 2 of the best supports in the game with arguably the best bruiser in the game. I mean, Tessarion is just, he's so solid. Again, it's becomes one of these just take your time against a Molly. So hopefully you land the stuff and no constant stalling from that nonsense unit. Alright, so we haven't hit enough Molong Molly defenses, so here's another one. Again, this is the team that I brought up earlier, the Odin Dagora Riley, which is just really, really solid. I was missing an artifact on that Dagora, but I didn't take the time to go put one on because, well, 1, it shouldn't matter all that much, and 2, we needed to tag this defense, or tag this tower quickly, because they were taking our tower and we'd lose the opportunity to hit it if I didn't win this and win it quickly. So I just jumped in. I think they would need to do like something just absurd to beat this offense. Like, this offense is just so good against this defense. I guess it was a little bit scary because my Riley is ruined on Revenge rather than on Will, so she got defense broken there, and I guess that could be a potential scare. I guess if you want to make it ultimately safe, it would be a high defense Riley to prevent the defense break from Savannah, because Molong will never defense break her. And yeah, so just immunity and high defense on the Riley. But in this case, I just moved runes from my 1 Riley. My 1 set is really, really tanky. I think it's like plus 37k HP or something. So even if I get defense broken, they would need a couple procs to finish me off. So yeah, you usually kill the Molong first, then the Savannah, and then, as always, take your time with Riley, which usually is not too shabby with Odin. You just need to actually land the crit, and you get the win. Alright, so for the last one here, it's the same exact defense as the first one, the Nana, Iris, and Savannah, same guy and everything. Previously I used the Galleon, Tiana, Poseidon. This time I figured I would try Lutioning. I'm not sure what the speed on this Iris was. Konamiya has like one of the worst base speeds in the game, but I gave her my fastest set, which on Konamiya is plus 215. And then my 24 lead, my speed lead here, is Mimir. I figured Mimir would have sufficient damage to clean up whatever might be left over. So I gave him my Perna set, I believe, which is a 100 crit rate, Violent Will set. It's pretty solid. And then I gave him a little more speed. I think I changed out 1 rune for some more speed. I made sure to kill the Savannah ASAP, because if she violent procced out of stun there and killed someone, that'd be a Nana stack, and then that'd be just a problem. So anyways, Mimir worked out well as far as a tool to clean up, and that was that. So here you can see the end of siege, who won, our total points and all that, and then my contribution. So my defenses did okay. I got some wins with Seara, Orion, Perna, and Cardinal Miles, Triana. Those are the main 2 defenses that have been getting me wins. I do occasionally get wins with my Nana, Savannah team, and yeah, I do want to try out some new defenses, because other than Seara, Orion, Perna, most of them are outdated, but a lot of them still get wins, so I don't know. I just need new monsters to try out new defenses. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next siege.